guys, welcome back to the channel. You might notice a few little familiar faces sitting next to me. These are the girls that I have come to Bali with. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. So hello, I'm Carmela and I run Studio Belvedere, which is a creative studio, usually based in London, but now here in Bali.
I'm Emily and I run at 35, the studio, basically the same as what these girls do.
I'm Holly and I run Nulla, which is a social media / digital marketing, content creation business. But yeah, we all pretty much do the same thing.
We thought it would just be really fun now, like as we're all together, to sit down, do a little fun Q&A. You guys can get to know us a little bit better. There are a few questions as well, which are a bit more like social media based advice too. So we all put up stories earlier asking for some questions. So I guess we'll just get right into it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
So this one I thought was quite cute as a little starter. Was how did we all meet?
Oh, that's so cute.
So obviously we all met online on Instagram, and we were having a discussion a few days ago whilst we were here that like who was the first people that you actually followed on Instagram, and you can actually go onto Instagram and like click on your following list and filter it to see who you followed first. And my first ever person that you followed was Holly.
Which is so funny, we never even really spoke at the start.
No, we didn't.
No.
And then it was Tracy followed by Carmela, and then I'm not sure why I followed you. But to be honest, I was always just a really kind of big fan of these girls' content. I really looked up to them when I started. I think the first proper ever conversation I had was definitely with you. I think I came to you to ask for advice about going full time.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know whether that was the first conversation, but definitely one like
we probably had like
something that I
engaged,
set up.
and then you just came to me for like advice.
Yeah.
I think we all started with you.
The one that showed me like the instigator.
Yeah. So I first connected with Holly actually through the co-working club, which were you all a member of? Or just you, Emily? Yeah.
I wasn't.
And I can't remember if like on a group call, and then we realised that we'd both travelled to Australia.
Yeah, I feel like I just remember seeing you and I was like, I don't want to be friends with her.
Aww.
Like you just look the most like me person, you know, sometimes you get like
that's
vibe.
cute. Yeah.
But yeah, no, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, that's
I
super
just
cute.
remember you sat like on the call.
Oh. And then we just like, I think you maybe private messaged me on Slack or something about where I'd been in Oz and like how long I was there for. And then we basically took that chat over to WhatsApp, and then basically gone from there, just flourished.
And then I guess first time we all met in person, I met you.
We went for drinks.
No, the first time we met in Waterloo, and we went to a little Christmas market.
Oh yeah,
to do a little bit of Christmas shopping.
Harriet.
Yeah, and then we went for drinks as well.
Yes.
And then we all then met at
Christmas.
So it was like a year later then, because ours was like the Christmas before, wasn't it? Yeah. So then I met you guys for the first time.
Literally only
Christmas,
6 months ago.
That's crazy. And
now we're here in Bali.
Not even 6 months ago, like 4 months ago.
Yeah, true.
That's actually insane. I mean, I feel like I know these girls so well now from being here. So.
Yeah, we definitely learn things about one another.
The next one is, what does an ideal work day look like to you?
I'm quite like structured, like 9 to 5. I'm quite strict with like, I have a lunch break at 1 o'clock every day, kind of keep it very similar to if I were to have like a
normal job.
normal job.
That's good to do.
I really want to get into trying either a whole like 4-day week thing, or kind of going up to Friday and having a half day on Friday. I think that's what I really want to work towards, but I'm definitely trying to be better at like, I don't know, if I feel like going to the gym a bit earlier or doing something like a different time that you wouldn't do in like a normal job, and I'm trying to like make that happen, because I think that's kind of a great part of what we can do. But it is hard to get out of that structure. You feel like a bit guilty when you're clocking off at 10 to go like on a walk or something. It sometimes it's a bit silly, but I think it is, I'm trying to get better at it.
I don't know, ideal office day or like work day, I feel like it changes quite a lot. I think for me the ideal day is a lot of variety in tasks, so I actually never, whereas you do this, Holly, I don't have a specific day for a client. Like I could never work with one client all the time, so I am very flexible in terms of I do try to time block my schedule as much as possible, but I will basically like have the morning session on client A, and I'll do like loads of creative stuff, and then in the afternoon I might do captions, which is still, I suppose, creative, but not like as fun as like filming content.
Yeah.
So I switch my days up quite a lot.
Actually, I've recently implemented a new thing which I have really been enjoying so far, is that I now start work at like 8, and then I'll get all my like main kind of tasks that are stressing me out done at first in the day, and then I will go to the gym at 10 and then come back to work, because also my gym is so busy in the morning, like when, you know, people, normal 9 to 5 jobs, go to the gym before work. So tried that, too busy for me, so I thought I would kind of switch it around and like start really early and then clock off at like 10 to go to the gym and then obviously come back. I am like quite specific as well when with my days of the week on what content I work on.
Oh,
so like
you're specific.
Mondays I normally like start feed plans, Tuesdays I'll move on to like reels, Wednesdays we do captions, Thursdays we do stories. So like that's kind of the way that I do it. But okay, next question. Do you guys use your phones or your cameras to record your reels or TikToks?
Depends. For my business account, a lot of it comes from like behind the scenes imagery from my shoot, which was all done on like my phone.
Right.
But I feel like I would, now if I were doing it, I'd probably do it on my camera just because I really like the high quality kind of crisp.
For me, I definitely prefer using my phone. I mean, I've invested in like the highest iPhone.
Yeah,
and so I feel like that definitely makes a difference. But what I've kind of found is that with my clients, when I use like really professional, like even like campaign videos that they've had shot when they're shooting new collections and stuff, those reels always do so much worse than the ones that like I would just shoot on an iPhone. I don't know, I feel like people can kind of clock on when it is professional.
When it's a bit less like curated.
Yeah.
But it's like TikTok style.
Yeah.
I always find if you edit them into like something like short and snappier, that's when maybe it will come better.
Yeah.
For content creation sessions, I always use my vlog camera. And then at home or like for the studio's content, it's usually iPhone, just because it's a lot easier for me to like film on the go. And like UGC stuff for clients is always on my iPhone.
Yeah. Right. Bit more of a general question. How did you guys start your businesses?
Mine just came kind of out of university, so I set it up as my like final major project at uni. And then I was quite fortunate to just be living at home for university, so I could just kind of live at home and go from university into working on my business full time, and it just kind of picked up from there. And I've always like said to friends who wanted to do similar, like if you are in the fortunate position where you can just work on it full time, that's like the quickest way to start building it up, because it is like trying to start your own business is very demanding time wise.
So I was left unemployed, as people say, but it wasn't very fun during COVID, unfortunately. And then I probably was unemployed for like honestly the most part of the first year of COVID. And then I was at home in Italy over the summer, trying to apply to jobs, obviously, and again, like events, marketing, like creative roles, and they weren't really hiring yet. I think they only really started in like 2021, so it was quite difficult. And then honestly it was my mum who was like, why don't you just try, like I feel like you've got nothing to lose, if anything it will be a good portfolio. And I was like, you know what, fair enough, you've got a good point. So yeah, I started that and then didn't really stop, to be honest, which was quite fun, I suppose.
Mine was definitely a mix of both of yours, like similar to Emily. I ended up doing uni at home, so I just had like all the time to pour into it. I definitely wasn't focused on my uni work at all, I was more focused on this. And then I guess lockdown happened, and at the time I was just working at like a cafe, then obviously that closed, so I was like, right, pour all of my energy into this, and then it just happened, I guess, like COVID. I think because everyone shifted online, people kind of needed our services more than they ever did before, so in that sense it was fortunate timing, but it just allowed me all the time in the world to work on it. I actually don't even know how you started.
Do you not? That's really
rude.
Have you not listened to my podcast episode?
I did when it came out.
No, I don't remember. Well, I'll tell you now.
Tell me now.
So I started Nude in COVID as well, but it was the year after you guys. I started in 2021, January 2021. So I finished university in 2020. I graduated. I got a job in like October, November of 2020 in social media, and then got put on furlough because of COVID in January of 2021. And then I was like, what the hell am I going to do with my time? And I knew that I always wanted to start a business. Literally the summer before, I was debating whether to start something like this, even though I wasn't really sure what that would be. Or I was also toying with the idea of starting a clothing company. So anyway, when I got put on furlough, I was like, now's the time to start the business. I just started my Instagram account, and then I probably got my first client in like the first 2 weeks of posting, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's really good.
When I got taken off furlough, I asked to be part-time, so I could still do nude and then do part-time with the job. And then after about 2 weeks of doing that, I was like, actually I'm going to go full-time. So it took me about 3 months before I went full-time. Next question. How do you get new clients as a social media manager? I feel like I've been pretty lucky in the sense that I've never really had to do that much like outbound engagement or kind of reaching out to businesses. But I would just say that I've really noticed that the more that I do actually promote my services and show up in stories and talk about what I can offer, people do respond. I think it's quite a scary thing to do because you don't want to sound like you're really like pushing yourself and promoting yourself a lot, but to be honest, at the end of the day, people aren't going to know what you do if you don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, when I first started, I got a few clients through outreach. I just didn't necessarily cold email because I tailored each email to each person I was reaching out to, but just businesses who were kind of like my ideal audience, and I did get some clients through that, and I worked with them for quite a while. So
yeah. I mean, to be honest, actually, over the past probably 6 months, I have been really focused on making sure that I'm engaging with
The right
brands
people.
and businesses. And actually, I have one of my clients that I have at the moment, I got through just commenting on their picture to like, just to even kind of show them that I'm here, not necessarily DMing them and saying this is what I can do.
Yeah, I think like the kind of secret to it is like just put yourself out there. I think people kind of forget to do that, and also forget how much people need to see stuff to like almost like put 2 and 2 together, because people consume so much content. I mean, realistically, like the scroll is quite literally endless.
Yeah.
So I feel like as you were saying, really, like if people feel quite subconscious about like being pushy or like promoting themselves, I can promise you now, like the story you post today, someone will not remember tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So please, like, don't overthink it. I think that's something that like I think probably all of us kind of learned quite early on. I think like it's an important lesson.
Yeah, I also think going off what you said about putting yourself out there, I think it's so important to like network as well. I definitely, I mean, what, 3 years in are we?
Yeah,
Ish?
yeah, almost, yeah.
I get most of my clients now through like referrals and through who I know. I think it's definitely that, you know, the whole it's who you know is so true, and it can get you to so many places and open so many doors for you. So like when you've got clients, I mean, build up a good relationship with them, and then they could, you know, recommend you to someone else, and like just being friendly and nice to people online will get you places, and kind of showing like letting your personality shine through a little bit and not just being such a business front, I think has helped me so much.
I feel like you're the queen of referrals.
Yeah, you really are. Okay, a bit more Bali based. How do you manage work with clients with the different time zone in Bali? For me, so I have a few clients all over the world, so it's kind of been a bit funny to manage. One of my clients is actually in Australia, so that's been great because normally when I'm in the UK, when she's waking up, I'm going to sleep and vice versa. So we always have like kind of a missed communication. But here it's been great because I sent over her content plan yesterday and she replied within like half an hour rather than 12 hours later. So that's been fine. In terms of UK clients, it hasn't been too bad because 4 p.m. is
about 4,
I feel like it works quite nicely because I feel like we get the work done in the morning, and then by the time they wake up, it's like done.
Yeah,
like in that sense, I quite like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things like client posts have been going live when it's like 11 p.m. here. And my assistant is kind of dealing with that. So I think having an assistant has definitely helped with that as well. And also if there's a client emergency, she's been able to kind of pick it up. US, I haven't had too much experience with US. I know that you have.
2 US clients and 1 Canadian client, but they're all on the same time zone. It's like a 15-16 hour time difference, and so I was on a call with Kendall this morning, and it was like 9 a.m. our time, but 6 p.m. her time the following
crazy.
day.
Oh!
Yeah.
God.
So working out the posting times for that have been quite hard, I won't lie, because I'm almost having to post the day before in some ways, because then it's the day behind for them.
That time difference website where you can see what time it is. That's literally like a same time on it every single day.
We haven't worked it out yet. Still.
Yeah. I do think we probably all would have struggled a little bit more if we didn't have our assistants to rely on, like engagement, posting stories and stuff. I just wouldn't have been able to do it.
I think that's something that has helped me. Like Bella, my assistant, does stories, and that's really helpful because one of my clients is also, they're moving to the US, but they post on Eastern Standard Time, and that is literally like 2 a.m. for us, and that's just obviously something I'm not unfortunately able to do myself, so it's really helpful to have her.
I think, if you don't have an assistant and you want to be able to go abroad and work remotely, I think it is possible to do. Like, you don't need to have an assistant for that, that's just us. But I think it's also just like figuring it out with your clients, like if you want to, talk to them about potentially posting earlier in the day for them so that it does work with your schedule. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to like accommodate with that. And there is always a way to work around calls as well, like getting up extra early in the morning, actually doing work in the evenings instead. Like, it's definitely worth it if you are looking to kind of work with
like
the different
we've all
time
had
zones.
calls at random times, haven't we? We've just made it work.
I have a call at 7 p.m. tonight. So I think that's probably all the questions that we're going to answer today. So we are also filming more questions over on Carmela and Holly's YouTube channels. So I will leave the links in the description if they're live by the time. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will put everyone's socials and everything in the description as well, so you can go check everyone out. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye! Should we post for a little thumbnail as well?
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.